is an essential skill for both professional and personal success, but many people struggle with it. If you're one of them, don't worry. We're joined now by two-time national memory champion Ron White for a mind-expanding session where he reveals the best methods to improve your memory and unlock your brain's full potential. Ron, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me here. It's an honor.
Thank you. So Ron, what initially drew you into studying memory training?
Well, it's not something that I ever set out to do. It was kind of an accident, but for me, it was a very fortunate accident. 31 years ago, and I know when I say that, it sounds impossible because I look like I'm 27, but I'm not. 31 years ago, I was 18 years old, and I was going to the University of North Texas, actually 32 years now. I've had a birthday. The memory guy needs to remember his own birthday.
Go Eagles.
Yeah. I was going to the University of North Texas, the Eagles, and I got kicked out of college. I had a 0.9 GPA, and clearly I wasn't going to class. And I took a job during that time as a telemarketer. Okay. And one day I called up a guy and I said, hey, we want to clean your chimney. And he said, we don't want our chimney cleaned. We're trying to sell our house. Thanks for calling. And as he was hanging up the phone, I said the words that put me in this chair today. I said, sir, don't hang up the phone. If you're trying to sell your house, you need a clean chimney. And he kind of laughed. He said, I don't know about that, but I do need a good telemarketer. Do you want to go to work for me? I sell memory training seminars, and I'll pay you more than you're making now, which was a pretty safe bet. You know, anybody could have said that to me and they would have been right. Mm-hmm. And started taking down his information. I went to work for him the next day, and actually it's been 32 years now to be 33 years this summer. And it's a very fortunate thing for me. It's something that I love doing.
Awesome. Are there any daily routines or practices one can do to improve their memory?
You know, there are. Good nutrition and exercise is going to help your memory. Probably one of the most overlooked brain foods is water. A dehydrated brain can't focus. So, you know, if you have brain fog and you have the inability to focus, maybe just say, hey, am I hydrated enough? 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated. A dehydrated brain can't focus. So good nutrition, exercise, spinach, blueberries, eating healthy, that's going to get you on the right path. Other than that, try to learn to think in pictures. You know, your mind remembers pictures. So you meet somebody named Lee, maybe you think of leaves. Or you meet Lisa, you think of the Mona Lisa.
Okay.
So my 2 points on that would be, number one, good nutrition and exercise. That's going to help. Your body helps your brain. It all works together. And then the second thing on that, just very simply, just try to start thinking in pictures. Think, I want to remember that. What picture could I create to help me remember that? Those two simple things will see dramatic improvement.
This is great advice for those meeting professionals out there for sure. And one last question. Why do you think having a good memory is such an important skill for your personal life and professional life, especially for a meeting professional?
Well, you know, for a meeting professional especially, you know, think about it. If we lost our memories right now, would that impact the quality of our business? You know, if we could no longer remember people's names, if we could no longer remember details during the day, if we could no longer stand up in front of a group and remember what we were going to say, would that impact our business if we totally lost our memory? I think everybody would say, oh yeah, it would be horrible. Well, if that's true, then the inverse has to be true. If you can get better at remembering names and faces, you're going to be better at networking. If you can remember details during the day, you're going to be more effective during the day. If you can stand up and you got to introduce the next speaker, you know, and you want to be able to do it comfortably and confidently, these are things that your memory can help you in. So any business professional, but especially meeting professionals, they have so many people to remember and so much information to remember.
And details, as we all know. Okay, well, now that we know more about you and what you're all about, let's put it all to the test. I'm going to have you stand over there because I don't want you to see my paper.
Right. We haven't built trust yet, right?
We haven't.
Okay.
And I'm going to randomly pick 15 two-digit numbers, so essentially 30 numbers for you to remember. Then I'll have you do a series of challenges. So go ahead. Okay, great. You're on your mark. And as I say the numbers out loud, they'll pop up on our screen for the audience to see. and the audience to follow along. But Ron cannot see them. So, Ron,
Yes,
are you ready?
I am. I'd love to hear those first 2 digits.
Awesome. Here are your numbers. 57.
57, 57. Okay, got it.
82.
82, 82. All right, got it.
28.
28, 28. All right, got it.
66.
66, 66. All right, got it.
39.
39, 39. All right, got it.
73.
73, 73. All right, I got it.
15.
15. All right, 15. I got it.
45.
45. All right, I got it.
20.
20, 20. I hope everybody's memorizing these as we go along with me, right? Wouldn't that be impressive if everybody else could do this? All right, 20 was the last one. Got it?
64.
64, 64. All right, that's 20 digits so far, so now I'm ready for the next ones.
37.
37, 37. All right. Got it?
88.
88, Michael Irvin of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm probably the only one thinking that, but that's how I remember that one. All right, got it?
12.
12. That's the 13th pair of numbers, and you said 12. So 13 is 12. 12 for 13. Got it?
53.
53, 53. All right, got it?
45.
45, we've done it before. It was the 8th pair of numbers, and now it is the final pair of numbers, which was the 15th pair. And that's it.
Okay, Ron, your first challenge is to simply repeat all 15 numbers back to me.
All right, that 30-digit number should be 5782 2866 3973 1545 2064 3788 125345.
Wow. I'm stunned. But can you tell us the numbers backwards?
Here we go. Backwards, that number should be, starting with the very last digit, 54352188734602545137, and then 9366, and then 822875.
Ron, that was so impressive.
Well, I guess I can go back over there now?
Yes, come on back.
Okay,
come
all
on
right.
over here.
Thank you.
So, what I'm dying to know is how did you do it? And I'm sure our audience wants to know the same. I've heard you talk about the mind palace technique. Could you explain to us in the audience how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the question we started this off with today was, Ron, how did you get into it? And I told you the story of the telemarketing story when I was 18 years old. The reason I think that story is so important to this whole presentation we're doing is when people see me memorize a 30-digit number forwards and backwards, their natural assumption may be that I was born with some special gift. I was not born with a special gift. I was an 18-year-old kid who took a job over the phone because I was a good telemarketer, okay? That's my story. story. So that's a powerful question to start with, and it really segues into this. Well, if it's not a natural ability, if I'm not Rain Man, if it's not a gift, what is it? And the answer to that is it's a 2,500-year-old memory system. It was developed in Greece by a man named Simonides. And he, as the story goes, and I don't know if this story is true or not, but it's on the internet, so it's got to be true, right? They can't put fake stuff on the internet. But the way the story goes is there was this guy named Simonides, and he was in a room in Greece, and he gave a speech, or he recited a poem. He leaves the building, the roof collapses, it kills everybody in the room. They pull the rocks off the people, they can't recognize them. They were crushed, but they had a guy who was in the room, Simonides. So Simonides said, well, Curtis was over there, Lee was over there, Stephen was over there, Taylor was over there. He remembered them based upon where they were sitting. And the light bulb goes off in his head. Wait a minute, what if I could remember anything based on a position in a room? And this is what we know today as the Mind Palace technique. So there are really 5 key fundamentals to this Mind Palace technique, and I'll go through them very rapidly and do a quick little explanation, I guess. But you got to be focused, right?
Okay.
That's good nutrition and exercise. Number 2 is you have to have a location. That's the Mind Palace. And then whatever you want to remember, it has to be a picture. So when you were giving me those numbers a minute ago, I was actually seeing pictures. You said, let me try to think of one that might make sense to everybody. Oh, 88. I said it out loud, Michael Irvin. If you had said 21, I would have thought of a deck of cards. Whatever you want to remember, it has to be picture. So let's just focus on 3 right now. Focus, file, picture. This is what I want everybody to do. And you and I will do it in this room, and everybody else will do it watching virtually. Wherever you are right now, I want you to stay in the seat you're in, but I want you to look over in the doorway. I guess we can use that doorway over there. In the room that you're in right now, start in the doorway, and I want you to look to your immediate left, and what's the first big piece of furniture right there? So we're standing in this doorway right now. We're looking to our left. So to our left would be this computer. Computer would be our number 1. So in your room, do the same thing. You're standing in a doorway, look to your immediate left. What's your first piece of furniture? Ours is computer. Let's make number 2 be the screen. If 2's the screen, looking over here, what could 3 be?
The camera?
3's the camera. 4, going around the room, what could 4 be for us?
Wooden door?
Let's just call it wood since we have a door over here.
Okay.
And then 5, what could 5 be? TVs. So let's say all 5 of these. What's 1?
Computer.
2.
Screen.
3.
Camera.
4.
Wood.
5.
Screens.
TV screens. There you go. You guys do this in the room that you're in right now. This is the Mind Palace technique. We're focused, number 1. Would you say we're focused, Lee?
We're focused.
We're focused.
Very focused.
Number 2, we have our files, the Mind Palace. The next thing we need to remember something is a picture. That's what we want to recall, right? 4 and 5 is got to do with a lot of action and emotion, and 5 is a review. But let's do this. Focus. We're focused. We got our files. I'm going to give us 5 pictures now. For you folks watching this virtually, you don't use the room Lee and I are in. You use your room. On that first piece of furniture over there, Lee, we're going to imagine money flying out of that. What do we have shooting? Money. Over here on number 2, I want you to see a clock. We got a big old clock right here, and a cuckoo bird pops out. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Our key word right there is what? Clock. Over here, and by the way, you guys at home do this. I want you to see money on your number 1, a clock on your number 2. On our number 3, we're going to imagine a cell phone. You in your room, look over there and imagine a cell phone. It's ringing off the hook, and your favorite person is calling. Let's go to number 4. On number 4, in your room, I want you to see number 4. I want you to imagine a plant growing on number 4, and it's taking up the entire room. And the last one, and you do this in your room, on piece of furniture number 5, I want you to see a wanted poster. It says wanted, dead or alive. Lee, we're hunting you down. It's got your face on it. When you hunt down a criminal, they have a dollar figure reward. What's the dollar figure reward here?
How
much money?
$1,000.
Let's make it $1 million.
$1 million.
All right. Wanted, dead or alive. She prefers to be caught alive. On that number 5 poster, see, it says reward above it. The word you want to see on number 5 is reward. Everybody in your room right now, look around the room and see if you can remember the words. Look back at number 1. What was the word? Money. Number 2, what was the word?
Clock.
Clock. There you go. Number 3, what was the word?
Cell phone.
Cell phone. Number 4, what was the word? We had a plant growing out of that. And the last one, what was on number 5?
$1 million.
$1 million, wanted, dead or alive. You just memorized 5 words. This is the mind palace technique.
Okay.
Now let me give you a real quick application for this in business. You got to give a speech. You got to give a speech tomorrow, and you don't want to use notes. You want to stand up in front of there and give a speech. This could be the outline of your speech. You stand up in front of the group, think back to your room. Guys, we're going to talk to you today about how to make more money. We've got some good ideas. Let's get them on the table. Manage our time effectively.
Communication.
Communication.
Wood. Growth.
Growth. Yeah, plants grow.
And rewards.
Yeah, reward your team whenever they hit their goals.
Okay.
Boom. You just use memory techniques to give a speech or a presentation without notes. So that's a real practical application there.
What is the favorite thing you've been able to do personally or professionally with this extraordinary skill?
Well, you know, my favorite thing, honestly, is just teaching this to other people, right? It's not about what I've accomplished in my memory. It's what I can help other people accomplish with theirs. And seeing those results is my favorite thing. Now, if we're going to talk about what personally have I done, and you know, was it breaking memory records that I'm most proud of, or was it winning a memory championship that I'm most proud of? It's not. What I'm most proud of is a project where I honor the United States military. When September 11th happened, I was 28 years old. As a response to September 11th, I joined the military, and I served for 8 years as a reservist. And in 2007, I was deployed to Afghanistan. So when I returned from Afghanistan, that's when I started breaking the memory records. But eventually, you know, how many times can you memorize a deck of cards and be fulfilled from it? So I wanted to do something more meaningful. So using the same system I shared with the group today, instead of numbering 5 pieces of furniture, I numbered 2,400 pieces of furniture, and in different houses and in different locations, clearly 50 or 60 different locations. And then I took the U.S. military that died in the war in Afghanistan, all 2,400 of them, and I memorized them in the order of their death. So I travel around the United States with a wall. It's 52 feet long, it's 8 feet high, and I will write out everybody who died in the war in Afghanistan in the order of their death. It took me about 10 or 11 months to memorize. It takes me 12 to 13 hours to write it out. Imagine you're at the Vietnam Wall and you're watching someone write out the Vietnam Wall from memory. That's what I do for Afghanistan. People will come and they'll look at the wall and they'll look for a specific name. Grandmothers have stood at the wall waiting 4 hours for me to write their grandson's name. And this little boy didn't want to meet me until his grandmother said, Cal and Ron served in Afghanistan where your daddy served. And then Callan was probably 4 or 5 years old at the time, and he was looking at me like, did my dad see this face? You know, and he was just really, I had his attention. You know, he wanted to know who I was when he knew I served where his dad lost his life. Oh, wow. And I said, Callan, your daddy was a hero. And every time I tell this story, say your daddy's name. Private First Class Austin Staggs, because he was a hero. So that's the most meaningful thing that I've ever done with my memory. But I also enjoy just teaching this to other people. If anybody, I mentioned today that we need to create pictures to remember names. Here's a QR code. If anybody scans this QR code, they can get my images. I've turned 1,600 names into a picture. Send that to me. I will email that to me. Tell me what's important to you with memory, and I will make sure that you get that.
Well, Ron, I am in awe and also very, very moved. So thank you for sharing that story and all the other stories with us. I know that our fellow meeting professionals out there feel just the same as I do in this moment. So thank you for being with us, and we look forward to what's more to come from our national memory champion.
Well, thank you for having me here. It was an honor.
Thank you, Ron.